Hey y'all, so God has given me another word today. Well, yeah, he actually has given me this word today. It's kind of developed throughout the day. I've gotten more and more, and at first I was like, I don't really want to deliver this, but it's actually kind of encouraging. Um, so it's about a spouse. So with any word, but especially these words, take it back to God and ask God to confirm it for you. This may be for you now. This may be for you at a later date. It's important to know your season, right? But nonetheless, it should serve as confirmation for who it's for. So, okay. To start with, this is going to be titled, I Made a Mistake and I'm Afraid of Owning Up. So I initially got the title first and I was like, oh Lord. Oh no. But anyways, I also had gotten the number 943, which in the Strongs means to empty, to pour out. Spiritually, this symbolizes a state of vulnerability or judgment where nations were stripped of their resources or strength, often as a consequence of their actions as a divine act. This person, and I got the number 34, which means poor, needy man in the Strongs. So, this person, this group of people have been stripped naked by God. They have went through their judgment. They have been receiving judgment. And this is the consequences of their actions. They are realizing that they have made a mistake. Do I know what that mistake is? No. That is everyone's spouses have done different things, right? But in this moment, they are feeling shame. Okay, when God strips you naked, you are naked, like naked and afraid, naked and ashamed. You are exposed. And so the thing is, they are afraid of confessing, because I had also gotten, so I've gotten 2126, which in the Strongs means God-fearing, but it also means fornication, harlotry, and unfaithfulness. And so, like I said, everyone's spouse is different. You'll know because of God has already revealed to you, what they've been going through, what they have done. Things that have been hidden have been brought to light. And so you kind of already know if it was fornication, right? You would know that. God should have revealed it to you. I can't say that God will do something. God treats everyone's relationships different, right? I can't say for sure 100%, but typically, from what I know, God will reveal to you things, right? And show you things prior to this person, like, telling you. So, and it says unfaithfulness. And so, this could even just be them realizing they've made a mistake. They have done things. Because I had also gotten the number 2275, which means shortcoming, failure, loss. So it could just be as simple as them realizing now that they are naked and ashamed, they are exposed by God. Their eyes are opened and they have been placed into this place of vulnerability, right? And their eyes are open. They're realizing that they have been unfaithful to God, right? And God's will for them. And they have rejected his will, right? They have set aside his will and the things of him, right? And they have just went on their way and did whatever they wanted, satisfying their flesh rather than falling into the will of God, right? They're realizing and noticing their shortcomings. And again, for everyone, that's different. Their unfaithfulness could have just been being unfaithful to God's will by God telling them, this is what I have for you, right? And this is what I don't have for you. But they chose to go down that path rather than the path of what God. It could just be that, right? It doesn't have to be like fornication. I don't know. But whatever it is, right? They're having a hard time. Like, they're realizing that they're in a place now of feeling shame, right? And they are in a place of feeling, realizing their shortcomings, right? And taking self-accountability for their shortcomings. However, God is showing that, another thing, they now see your true value. And because they're at this stage now, the union, y'all being united, will be coming swiftly, right? He showed me forward air, right? He's bringing this forward movement, this forward air that's going to push everything forward, move everything forward, right? But I had gotten Matthew chapter 9, verse 36, and it says, he saw the crowds of people and felt sorry for them because they were worried and helpless. Going back to the number they were like sheep without a shepherd. Going back to 34, poor needy man. God is showing mercy, and he is showing grace and compassion on them. They are poor, right? They are a poor, needy man at this moment. He's looking at them with pity, right? With just mercy, grace, and compassion. And that is how he is instructing us to also look at them, right? And so if you're still in a place of being angry, bitter, where if they came to you tomorrow, right, and confessed all of this or whatever they need to confess to you, and you're not willing to be, show them, extend grace to them, and compassion, and, in the way that God needs you to, then you need to work on your heart, right? And he's not going to send you the person back until your heart is worked on, right? Because when he sends this person back this time, it's going to be a forever thing, right? And you can mess it up. You can get in the way and delay things if you're not aligned correctly, right? If your heart is not in alignment, you can mess up the work that God's doing. So, but they are now God-fearing because whatever has happened to them, or what's getting ready to happen to them, right, has shown them who God is. And now they have a healthy fear of the Lord. They now see God for who he is. They have a new perception of him. And they have a new respect for him. And they are feeling great shame because of how unfaithful they have been to him and to you, right? And so they are recognizing their shortcomings, their failures, but they are, they are feeling remorseful, right? Just feeling like a failure. They have rejected God. They have rejected his will. They have rejected the things of God. And at this time, maybe just pray that, because I got 248 to strength, right? And arm strength, 437 to confess, and 422 unashamed. So he needs to get them to a point of having strength, right? And feeling unashamed so that they can move forward and confess this thing. And at that point, And then at that point, you will see the things starting to happen swiftly, right? Like that forward air God is blowing. It's going to move everything move everything forward. And I had also gotten a few days ago like thorns, and then I was brought to this number was actually on a wall. So it's interesting that it literally means wall in the Strongs because it was written on a concrete wall. It was the number 1444, 1444, which again in the Strongs means a wall, an enclosure. And it led me to Proverbs 24:31, which says, "Thorns had grown up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds, and the stone walls had fallen down." I thought about what I had seen. I learned this lesson from what I saw. You sleep a little, you take a nap, you fold your hands and rest. Soon you will be poor as if you had been robbed. You will have as little as if you had been held up. I actually haven't read this whole thing. If you go up a little bit, it actually says, "I passed by a lazy person's field. I went by the vineyard of a man who had no sense. Thorns had grown up everywhere. The ground was covered with weeds, and the stone walls had fallen down. I thought about what I had seen. I learned this lesson from what I saw. You sleep a little, you take a nap, you fold your hands and rest. Soon you will be poor as if you have been robbed, and will have as little." Oh man. Yeah, beggar, needy, poor man. I didn't even read that, but yeah, that's kind of explaining what I had just said. They've just went through great loss. And if you go back to 2275, it means defeat, failure, shortcoming, but also means loss. They have been humbled. They have been stripped down, or they're about to be. This is due that whatever they've just experienced has been from rejecting God and his will and his instruction and his warnings and all of the things, because they have just nullified it, right? They have ignored it. They have they just experienced some sort of great loss, right? A stripping down to nothing. I'm actually at a loss for words at the moment because this all just came together, and I'm feeling kind of heavy, to be honest. Going even back to 21:26, yes, it means fornication and unfaithfulness, but it also means God-fearing. Whatever they just went through and experienced, they now have a healthy fear of the Lord, like I said at the beginning of the video. Man. So, again, pray for their strength as led by God. If this is not for you at this time, you really got to be led and know what the season is, because they could be going through their judgment, right? This is for those who are coming out of it, who just come out of it, right? So if they're in the middle of going through it or about to go through it, and you're praying for their peace, praying for their, you could be praying against what God is trying to do. So it's so important to know the season and have God confirm to you if this is right now or not, right? But pray for their strength. Pray for them to, God to renew their strength, and just be led by God in prayer, right? I don't know. I feel really heavy at the moment after that all just hit me, like the revelation of it. And pray for them, pray for God to give them the confidence and the strength, right, to come forward and confess, because right now they are feeling shameful, right? They're feeling great amounts of shame. And like if you were to do something, imagine doing something wrong, right? Knowing that you failed someone, being placed in this position where everything's kind of hitting you, right? And you're just realizing all the every time you went wrong and just feeling, just imagine yourself being in that position and, just be patient with them in this time, extend grace to them, extend compassion, whatever it is that God is instructing you. Just do it. And yeah, so I do pray that this makes it to the right people at the right time. I pray that it confirms something for you. And if y'all feel led to sow, like I said, I added Cash App back. Cash App was giving me problems last year. So I kind of deleted that account and made a new one recently, because I know a lot of people use Cash App. I had someone try to sow to me earlier multiple times, tried to resend this payment, but Cash App was rejecting it. I think it's the enemy, because that's why I have such issues with Cash App now. It's like you can't get the payments to go through. It's the enemy trying to prevent it and stop it, right? But you can try, you can try to send payment through there, but I do have it, but I also have, Venmo and PayPal as well. And again, I would never ask for any payments, only send if you feel led by God or you just want to be a blessing. And I pray God bless you in return for those seeds that you sow. And I appreciate all of y'all's comments that y'all leave. Y'all are sweet, and I appreciate all of you. And I pray y'all have a blessed rest of your evening. Stay encouraged, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Okay, bye.